Hello everyone, this is MxmxEdeka. I hope you are doing well. In this video, we are gonna building a 1 hour long level. How this gonna work is basically I'll be choosing one song for each episode and using the entirety of the song into the level. And after probably 20 or so episodes, I'm gonna have a full 1 hour long level. Now enjoy the video. So for the first part of this 1 hour long level, I started by making a simple 1x speed cube gameplay. Since the level is 1 hour long, I had to optimize it. And spoiler alert, it isn't optimized. But still I tried making some simple decoration that wouldn't take up many objects. For this square structure, I placed those interesting, don't know the name of objects, colored them into different colors and just rotated them a bunch, gave it some glow, and that was it. While I'm building this gameplay, I would like to ask you, if you are enjoying the video so far, why not drop a sub? I will be posting more videos like this, so if you don't wanna miss them, subscribe. Now, back to the video. The next thing I did was to decorate this one block, and it was really simple. I added this hexagon force block, some white glow over the top, and I added a chain. Then I took this simple block design, copy pasted it around, and made a spike design that would go in under it. Also forgot to say, but I'll be adding different objects for the top, since I wanted to add more variation, since the level looked way too copy pasted. Next things I did were make jump indicators, make orb decoration, and make some ground spikes. And now, after making some more gameplay, it was time to head on to the second part. For this part I made an interesting gimmick. I made a green orb follow you and go up and down on its own. And then basically you just click it multiple times and dodge obstacles. For the decoration of the orb, I didn't want to overcomplicate it because I wanted it to still be seeable as a green orb. So that's why I just added two circles on top of each other and placed them above the orb. For the gameplay, as I already said, you basically dodge obstacles. And the way I achieved that, I basically made some saw blades, made them move up and down, and added some platforms from time to time that you land on. And basically, after working on the part for about 30 more minutes, it was finally done. Since the drop was in about 5 seconds, I decided to make a quick part that would just be a build-up, kinda. For this part there were just some simple jumps and then you enter the drop. So I'm gonna skip this. Now it was finally time for the drop. In the first part I decided to make it a 2x speed ship and halfway through I'll change it into UFO. As you already saw, I used some slopes as the main structures of the part. I also added some saw blades that you have to dodge. For the decoration, first off I started with the ground spikes. I used those triangle-like spikes, placed them around the part, and then that was it actually. I didn't add anything else. Next thing I decorated were these slopes, and they were also really simple. On the outside I added the metallic blocks, and on the inside I added those, I don't know the name, basically these ones. Even though the part wasn't finished, I started working on the other part. First off I started with some simple block design. I used those bricks and some metallic blocks, and that was it. I also made some pillars with spikes on them to fill up the part. Since I want to use a more unique way of showing you where to click, I made those connector blocks. For the ground spikes I just used some invisible objects. So right here I didn't really record, so I'm just gonna quickly show you what I did. yeah, it's a bit more interesting than the other parts. I should have recorded. I just made a swing copter part, made some random objects, these rainbow ones that change colors, and these smaller ones that are black and white that just rotate, as you can see here. And also I added a ground, this a custom ground by the way. Add some bushes into the ground, some chains. And forgot to say, but I also added the shader that you see right here. Since the music in the next part was going a bit more intense, I decided to make it a 2x speed ship. So first off, I started by making an interestingly shaped structure, made a variation with spikes, and started copy pasting it around to make some gameplay. Then I also made a pillar design so that it wouldn't get so repetitive. Even though I made both pillars and this floating design, I had to make some saw blades to fill in the part. For the saw blades I used these Reaper-like saw blades, added some glow and some rotating decoration objects. And then I spammed those saw blades around and the part was basically done. Okay, maybe not yet. For the decoration of this block design that I completely forgot to talk about, was basically a black inner layer and an layer with those connector blocks. And of course glow, of course. Then after copy pasting this structure around and making a simple design for the pillars, it was done. For the next part I decided to make a slow speed wave that would gradually get faster and faster. It's just getting harder and harder from now. Since I lost the recording of me building the next 4 parts, I'll just explain it real quick. Alright, so because I didn't record the next 4 parts of the level, I'm gonna quickly explain what I did. In this wave part, I basically made a lot of invisible objects, as you can see here, spammed them, added this interesting transition right here that I'll show you in the moment, and yeah, that's it for this part. It's a lot more simpler than the others, and I actually really like it. You can see on the front and the back there's an interesting transition. The second part was a bit more generic. I made it a slow speed spider, and yeah, I made an interesting block design, added some invisible objects, made ground spikes, and made a really interesting orb decoration, which I really like. I think it's just great, perfect for this part. Also for the indicators I used those connectors. I know I have used it once more in the level, but why not? So the next part is a 1x speed cube, and yet again it was a bit more interesting than the spider part. As you can see, I basically spammed a lot of glow, some rotating objects, and yeah, you see right here these pods that basically appear when you get close to them. I think that's a really great touch. And also, I don't think you can see it now, but I added some invisible objects on the inside. This part was a bit more different than the others. I don't really like it, but it's not that bad. Basically, for the design, I used these objects right here, some glow and in breakable objects. Also made this design right here for these two pieces right here. Added some ground spikes, orb decoration, click indicators, and that's it. These are all the 4 parts that I made. I think they look pretty unique one to another, and now I'll give you a quick showcase. Here it is. Now it was time to make the final part of this episode. I thought for a bit about what game mode should I use, and then after some thinking I decided to make it a dual cube. For the gameplay I basically made some generic dual gameplay since I didn't want to go asymmetrical because it would be way too hard for a 1 hour long level. So first off I started by making the block design, and I made this interesting checkerboard design and added some backing blocks. Then I added some glow and this design was basically done. After copy pasting the design, I decided to make one more super simple design. I literally just placed black blocks and some glow. And then last thing for this episode was to make some ground spikes. And as always I try to keep them simple. I just used these wavy ones and added some details later. Okay, also made some more decoration and spike design. But after all that, it was finally, for real this time, done. So, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this longer than usual video. This video took me way too long to make, so if you enjoyed it and watched till the end and liked the video, why not subscribe? I'll be posting more videos like this soon. So now, without further ado, let's get into the showcase.